Everyone has anxiety. You're not special. These days, it's just getting so ridiculous. I mean, people are using anxiety as a free pass to act like a shitty human being and for everyone around them to be okay with it. Isn't that unfair to the rest of us? You have anxiety. I have anxiety. The other person has anxiety. Everyone has it. It's just part of being human. It's just that some of us, we don't make it our whole personality. We fight it every single day. Yeah, I understand completely that anxiety exists on a spectrum where some people have it more than others, but everybody has it. It just seems these days people are using anxiety as if that's the only way to separate yourself from everybody else. I get it. We as humans, we want to be known for something. We want to be different. We want to stand out in some way. And maybe for one person, it means having certain accomplishments. And for another person, it means identifying with a mental disorder, which is anxiety. I mean, aren't you just doing yourself a disservice? I get it. You want to stand out. You don't want to be like everybody else. And so the easiest thing you found to do, instead of actually working at something to stand out in your own way, in your own craft, no, you pick the easy way. You identify with being an anxious person, and it's often backed behind a doctor. And no, this isn't medical advice, but this is just real life, right? And it's backed behind a doctor who also says, yeah, you have anxiety, here's some pills, as always. And because that's all they do for you, right? And you think you get to walk around saying, I'm different, I have anxiety. And because of that, I get to be a piece of shit to you. You're not hurting anybody but yourself. I mean, those kind of people, I've seen a lot of them. And do you know how their world shatters when I sit there and say, I also have anxiety? And they look at me like, no, you don't. They feel threatened. How could you have it? I have it. It's my thing. You don't get to take that away from me. How could you also have it? No, you just don't get it because I have it way worse than you. And so that's why you having anxiety doesn't count. How is that fair that you get to sit there and basically not acknowledge that there are people out there who have the exact same thing you do, some people worse than others, and they fight it every single day. They step out of their comfort zone. They go head on with life, and they just understand it's part of it. One sec. Oh, you want to go out today? No, I can't. I have anxiety. I'm not going to come out. But it's going to be fun? It's going to be okay? No, I can't. I have social anxiety. And also, can you get the fuck out of here? You're making my anxiety worse. Can you just get out and close my door? Anyway, back to what I was saying. The people like us who actually fight it every single day, you're just taking that away from us. You're just being lazy. That's right. It's a lot easier to sit there and act like a victim of anxiety than being me or being some of you guys who understand, okay, this is going to make me uncomfortable. I don't want to be in a social space right now. I don't want to be confronting anybody. I'm so uncomfortable. This is making me anxious. I have a lot of stress, but you know what? I'm still going to go through it because we're going to fight it. You're taking away our efforts. Those people that just get to act like the victim, you're taking it away from us. You're taking away our effort by saying, no, we just don't have it. That's easy to say. And I'll say more. I'm actually an introvert. I hate speaking to people, especially new people. And it's very funny because I spent a lot of time working on this and putting myself out there. I went to door knocking for a living at one point, and that was the worst thing ever for an introverted person. And these days people just look at me and say, you're not an introvert, you're an extrovert, look at you, that's bullshit. And I don't know if to be offended or to be like, oh, thanks, I guess I'm good at making it look like I'm an extrovert. But in all honesty, I'm not. I just have to fight it every time. And I just think it's gone too far. The pendulum is swinging way too much to one side, where all these people are using these kind of mental disorder excuses to justify their existence. And at the same time, making other people's lives worse by them having to put up with shitty behavior, and on top of it all, getting away with it. Isn't that great? So it's gotta stop. And I know a lot of people aren't gonna say this, especially in public. I've met very few people in my life who actually have a high level of anxiety, and even they do a better job than those people that have a little bit of it and pretend to be entitled with it. So this needs to be talked about more, and I think the world should open their eyes a little bit. Not even the world, maybe just the Western world, open their eyes and understand that how are we letting this slide? And maybe you guys are afraid or don't know how to confront someone like that, but you've got people like me on your side. I will stand up for this. Any person who goes into my face and says, I have anxiety and therefore I'm not going to do X, Y, Z, and I'm going to act this way, I'm just going to be like, no, you don't get to. I have anxiety. Yeah, I am taking it away from you. That doesn't make you special. And some of us who are not even from the Western culture or Western society, we're from a different culture. You guys know what I'm talking about when I say this. Imagine if you went to your mom or your dad and you said, Mom, I have anxiety. What do you think they're going to do? They're going to laugh. They're going to think you're just making a joke. They're going to look at you like, what? Because that's the equivalent of going up to someone and saying, hey, I'm a human and I'm nervous to do this one thing. And they're just like, oh yeah, no shit. So? It doesn't play into anything. It doesn't justify anything. It doesn't mean you're now gonna get away with something or not do what you have to do. What's gonna be next? I don't know, maybe you get a headache every day because you don't drink enough water, but now that's gonna be classified as chronic migraines. And so you just get to leave work whenever you like every day because you have chronic migraines. I don't know. It's just getting so ridiculous with all this labeling. I think we need to stop labeling everything. And no, this isn't the last video I'm going to make about this. I'm going to keep talking about these kind of things because I think we just got to put a stop to it. We got to snap back to reality and just understand that this is garbage. Like, what are we doing? And if you got offended by this, maybe you see some of the things I said in yourself. Well, I'm not saying you're a bad person. I'm saying this type of behavior is not going to be tolerated. At least by people like myself and others who decide not to put up with this. And finally, I've read this somewhere in the book, but when you keep telling yourself that you have anxiety, it actually makes it worse. If you keep thinking about how you're anxious, you're just going to be more anxious. It's that simple. That's how your brain works. So stop telling yourself that. It's detrimental. Tell yourself you're brave, you're courageous. And guess what? Your anxiety is just going to drop a couple steps. And that's it. Manage it. Be like the rest of us here who just deal with it. We're all human. And yeah, I said what I had to. And if you guys in your lives know those kind of people and you've probably talked to them about this sort of thing and they still don't get it, well, feel free to share this video with them and just in general, make it normal that having anxiety isn't anything special or crazy. I'm not talking the very few rare cases where it's extreme for some people, but for everyone else, we can stop pretending. And if you guys agree with me or disagree with me, feel free to write that in the comments. I like to reply to the comments as well. I appreciate any input, positive or negative, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.